Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel today. We're going to practice English together by reading, repeating, and doing the shadowing. This is one of the best ways to improve your English, whether you are beginner or advanced. The subject of today is about overthinking, so let's get started and have fun learning. There once was a man who lived in a small town. He was not poor, but not rich. He was not unknown, but not famous. He was like many others, except for one thing. His mind never rested. While others worked, laughed, and slept, his thoughts never stopped. He thought of the past, of mistakes that could not be changed. He thought of the future, of problems that had not yet arrived. And in between, he thought of 1,000 small things that most people would simply forget. He was not living in the town. He was living in his own head. Part 1, the beginning of the prison. At first, it seemed harmless. He would lie awake at night, replaying conversations word by word. Did I say the wrong thing? Did they misunderstand me? The questions never ended. Then it grew stronger. Every choice became impossible. If he was invited to dinner, he would think of all the possible outcomes. What if I say something foolish? What if the food is bad? What if I wish I stayed home? By the time his mind finished spinning, the dinner was already over. Life continued outside, but he was always one step behind. Not because he was weak, not because he was lazy, but because he was trapped inside his own thoughts. Part 2, the thief of time. Seasons passed. Spring arrived with its flowers, but he was busy thinking of the storms that might come. Summer arrived with its warmth, but he was thinking of the winter ahead. Autumn painted the trees in gold, but he was counting the leaves that had already fallen. And when winter finally came, he thought only of how quickly spring would return. While others lived in the present, he lived everywhere except here. And so the days turned into years, and time slipped through his fingers like sand. The man had a dream once. He wanted to build a small workshop to craft things with his hands. Nothing big, nothing famous, just a place where he could create. But before he could start, he thought of the money it would cost. He thought of the mistakes he might make. He thought of the people who might laugh if he failed. So he waited. And while he waited, he thought more. The years passed. The workshop remained only an idea, and the dream grew dusty as the corners of his mind. It was not failure that killed the dream. It was overthinking. From the outside, the man looked normal. He smiled. He greeted his neighbors. He lived like anyone else. But inside, there was no rest. At night, his body lay in bed, but his mind ran like a wild horse. Every sound, every memory, every possibility kept him awake. He was tired, but not from work. He was exhausted from carrying thoughts too heavy for one heart. Years later, the man sat alone, looking at the life behind him. He had survived, yes, but he had not truly lived. The moments of joy had been drowned by waves of endless thinking. The opportunities had been buried under piles of questions. The dreams had been eaten alive by doubt. And so he whispered to himself with a sad smile, "It was not the world that defeated me. It was my own mind." Overthinking does not arrive like an enemy with a sword. It arrives like a friend with questions. But if left to grow, it becomes a prison. And many lives, like that man's life, are not destroyed by lack of talent or lack of luck, but by thoughts that never rest. This is the silent tragedy of overthinking. It does not break the body. It does not shout. It simply waits until the person realizes that life has passed and all that remains are thoughts of what could have been.